kill them off one by one. I've seen a lot of people play like the quick singing Italian, because I guess it's with like with Italian you can only like search the 2 cards at once. So it's like not like it's really good, but it's also like people.
That's why you run Scoop Up Net though. So like, because you could do the you just do it again, which helps. It gives you like next turn to think about it.
What even is? This is my hand. I got distracted.
I know what it does.
I get to go level 50 before next deadline, so I don't care.
Well, you got a 4 on this one, so you're halfway there. Nope. So I got tokens. I have mill. I have lands. Let's go with the Virgo.
Retreat.
Something different.
Cool. We're getting there.
I've put it down.
All right. I have mill. I have done lands. Okay. There we go. We're doing lands. If you're not doing like 2 card, I fill you out of color. I'll do that like that.
That's a keep it within.
I did once get the water crystal and the demonic combo, which is funny. To me, the web was like having us burn it and you build 5 cards.
Okay, in this position, I don't think I can win. Because I have no way to play my
I was. Well, do you have feeling card?
I do, yeah. But the issue is,
It would be,
I'm gonna knock myself out.
it would be a tie.
What's up? Oh no, I have 2. You have 2. I have 2 cards. So I legitimately don't think I can win. So I try checking my out. Yeah, I would like to see one. I have Pelipper to get a quarterback from this card, but I don't have any like recovery.
Yeah, because I have one more turn. Because then with this turn, because I can do 2 energy, so I can engage on any card and then.
If I drew Artisan with my prize, like
Oh, and counter catches.
What?
Good game, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta do that too.
no, I'm still tweaking this. Just right now, I built this video.
That's how his father
Right. This one actually, I took out Rash. I took out Rash on the game, but I did still get 2 lightnings. Oh yeah. Crispin is good. Crispin and Volkner. Like, Volkner's also really good.
Later in the game.
I was gonna
The Metal Beast nasty. I was gonna say, Ryan has a really good colorless control.
and on top of that, it's recovery too. I could crisis punch.
All the regulars are here. It literally seems like we have at least 11 regulars.
So I think I just gotta find space.
Pastor will be here, but he's going to grass, and Trey is out of town.
Out of town, yeah.
For the most part.
So have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're still looking at 12. 13. Megan said she was playing, I think. Still looking at 13.
Yeah, I think
If you haven't registered for GLC, you need to let me know.
Jimmy.
Yeah, you're the one who wants to raise your hand.
Okay. You know how many times? You don't know how many times.
He's in such a...
I mean, he told you he was.
He made it. To be fair, no one should be surprised, he said.
He told you he would be. Like, I don't know. He gave that.
Fair warning. Fair warning. Yeah, I don't think anybody's like against. I just think it's like. Also, check out this bullshit. So you know I caught that one.
Yeah.
The game said, "Here, have a fucking nut." I don't.
One, but we can't.
I can purify it. You can have it.
I love it.
I want to eat. I have zero.
You have pure. Yeah.
It's funny, but it doesn't. Every time I draw, I'm like, I'd rather just
Exactly.
I'd rather have anything else.
The tournament I won for Dragon, I pretty much never
was just gonna offer. I got loose.
I don't have loosening in mind. That might be something that it's showing is a staple.
I might have been able to win if I liked. Yeah, also, oh wait, the Raticate? Have you seen the Raticate?
Yeah, why he did just two threw us off completely.
We've always had
At least he did just these two, and so we lost this to Magic. And then they did not want to move. It's just
In this case, I would
I'm making a dark deck with the I came out recently where
pitch.
no, the one where you discard energies attached to the active. I think its other move. No, its first move is that you can move discarded energies from your
Are you playing?
Yeah. And then it does more damage based on how much. So basically, you can like I have it where like I'm discarding two
I'm not feeling it on my drop.
Drop.
Also, I guess I need a card. I don't know if I'm gonna get any stamps on it, but you all have more cards because I didn't get one last time. So that's kind of funny because I need a can I just like IO for someone stamps? Oh, Brian. Do you have a stamp card this year? I don't need it right now.
No.
DLC player, this is your only roll call for the night. So if you don't know, you can say
And like some of them, Team Flare, like
Team Flare. I'm putting Team Flare.
Man, you should calm down. But like, if you, I know you're upset. You know these cards are fit and they belong.
I bought a Team Flare. That's cool. It's perfect.
Nate, you want stream? You want stream? Okay.
So you should put the champions from last time. Champion from who was last time?
Jeremy. I mean, it's also your opponent will have to agree, whoever that is, too.
Whoa, we all got 4 right? That cat's going in now.
I'll play off stream.
Cards did that for you.
Alright, that's it. Cool.
Trey's here in spirit. And by spirit, I mean his name is on the text. In the digital world. He's not playing, obviously.
Alright, we're gonna be 4 rounds tonight. Any questions, concerns? Alright, great. The space we have is not right at the code, so you can find somewhere to play. Sorry about that. I can put you in contact with the store manager.
I know that but he's a
Stupid.
He's about to get really contact.
Lose one, level up.
Because otherwise, yeah, they can bait out the support.
Just hit the
Cheap spreads. That was
Yeah.
guy from
like cheap spread cards.
Gunstein, yes.
Yeah. Unless it sucks, and then I won't be playing. That's what talk to them.
Just playing one match and I'm out.
Honestly, I just don't really feel like playing 4 most of the time, which is why I don't play most of the time. I feel like playing like 1 or 2, but then I have to like commit.
Fine, this will be slog.
That had to have been a slog for everyone. And even I had a bye. But in GLC for 5 though, when like all the brain power you're doing though, like it adds up. Like it's a mental marathon.
I was just surprised we managed to reach 5 rounds in a standard.
Even standard nerf like that though is kind of brain dead because you know what you're playing.
We all mark. Across your main, I'm gonna go.
Maybe I can hit level 44 soon.
I think I just hit 43.
I'm not going to hit level 50 before I'm done.
I'm not either.
Is there a special thing for getting 50 by a certain time?
Well, all the stuff that you normally get at level 50 is like all the level up rewards are going to be higher. I think.
I just want to
So there's no reason to.
This is my seat right here. So,
The reason is that you will have something that then won't be available.
Dustin, Brandon, Dallas, Chris, Matt, Jeremy, Jordan, Nate,
You okay with stream for sure?
Okay.
Because I had asked Nate. I'm streaming. I've got Nate and Jordan, and then I can get you next round if you want.
Didn't know if you were set up.
I'm set up for this table. Yeah. Do you have a buy? Okay, I might get your eyes on this once they get started. I feel like the camera is doing this. I feel like I'm not getting like a straight down view. Like I'm.
Hey, Megan, do you want to switch with Michael?
Yeah,
And then
I'm gonna
we-
sit here.
Yeah, makes sense.
I'm gonna scoot both of y'all over just a hair. I'm
Otter, did you do something bad?
gonna scoot both of y'all over just a hair. All right.
How's Monster Hunter going? Great. It's fun. It's Elder Dragon event. It's fun. You can play.
Maybe.
All right.
Most Elder Dragons are fun. It's at $2 because we're alpha.
Friendly reminder: from the camera angle, I can see both your hands, but I'll never comment on what's in your hands. It'll only be speculative.
The chat will comment on what's in your hand,
I can start it when you get set up.
Gotta change names.
Did Josh leave?
He took a step outside. When they get set up, I've actually got to.
I've not played it yet, so.
Oh shit! I gotta. Yeah. Hold on.
And if we didn't have a lot of time, I did make my grasp. But that is a little too.
I would wait until Horse and Giant Plants 2 comes out. I know. I just wanting the new stuff for like
I don't care about this raid out.
Right.
I mean, like I said, I need 100. I've been 98, but like, I need 100. And I need
This table's overflow for us. So.
I got the buy. I got the buy. I'll come sit with you. I'll spy on the camera.
Yeah. I just have you take a look when the time comes.
I'm gonna say hi to the guy
bag before this gets. Nope, I'm prepped.
Can you go under the table?
Probably.
Do you need to walk out before I sit down?
Probably, yeah. Appreciate it. Thank you guys.
All right, Jordan, Nate, getting set up here. Both of these players, perennial badge winners, each last season, and Jordan the previous 2 seasons. Nate joined us middle of last season, so should be a very highly competitive round 1. Which we realize both players have set their decks, put their prizes, set their basics, and then are looking and ready to get started. You see what I'm saying? Like it's probably not. It feels ever so slightly like it's not a flat down. Like it's just a little bit of a. Like I'm seeing, like it's that. You see what I'm saying? Like it's. Or it's probably fine, and I'm just.
It's okay. If it could be zoomed in a little bit more.
I can drop it between their rounds.
Otherwise, I think it's fine.
Between their rounds, I can drop it to where I just get the mats. Yeah, I can do that. Right. So Jordan going first reveals the Spiritomb, the God's Lord, and then plays down the Hoopa. That Spiritomb, with that ability, each turn can add 1 damage counter to it, and then its attack Anguish Quiet is 10 damage plus an additional 30 damage for each damage counter on it. So it effectively builds itself up, and then can kind of be used as a nuker or a heavy attacker. I mean, even going into turn 2, when if it has 2 on it, it's swinging for 70. But we do see her off that level ball grab the Purloin, and the Purloin is a great chance for her to have that basic set up to eventually have her draw engine ready to go, which will evolve into that Liepard with that trade ability. Once per turn, you can discard a card from your hand and draw 2. So setting up Dark's draw engine with that attacker and Hoopa and Assault Gate on the bench ready to move. So she's got a lot of options as she looks to go into her second turn. This is first just looking to finish that up. And so she will build that spite to put 1 damage counter onto the Spiritomb, turn attach to threaten an attack there, and she'll pass to Nate. Nate drawing for turn. He does have that Tatsugiri sitting in the active. Tatsugiri with the ability to attract customers once per turn. You can look at the top 7 cards of your deck and then reveal a supporter card that you find there. But what Nate's going to do here first is he's actually going to play Nest Ball to do a deck check and then thin. You want to have 1 less card that he'll hope to see when he uses attract customers, if he chooses to use that ability, making it much more likely that he'll get a supporter, and even the supporter he needs to get going and be effective there. Alright, Nate, having done some extensive prize checking, chooses to place down the Gible, knowing that it is evolved up into stage 1 into that Gabite, one of the most essential cards for Dragon to begin with. That Dragon Call, once per turn, you can search your deck for a Dragon card, and then evolves into that Garchomp. And I'm not sure which Garchomp he's playing here, but both are pretty dangerous, and so it'll be interesting to see. But because that is a stage 2, getting the Gible down earlier on in the game really provides him that opportunity. Deck is shuffled, Jordan cuts it, and then he uses that attract customers. Looking at those 6 and then revealing a supporter. Nate has options, chooses to reveal a Colress from there. Turn attaching the special energy onto Gible. It can effectively count as 1 energy, but it can be multiple types even at one time. You see that card a lot in several decks that either have multicolored energy attackers. You think colorless, you especially think Dragon. And even then, sometimes when you think about when you think about like Okidogi and fighting, right? It needs a dark energy, but then a card like that can count as that despite being just the one. So Nate gonna play that Colress, shuffle his hand into his deck, and then draw the number of benched Pokemon. So he'll draw 4 cards and have a hand reset ready to go as he looks to complete his turn. He draws those 4, gets the Regidrago, gets the Druddigon down, and then chooses to pass.
So if I hand you like an idea or will you like make it
Jordan immediately builds Spite on the Spiritomb, putting 2 damage counters on it, and then evolves that Purloin into Liepard, uses a trait ability to pitch Lusamine to draw 2 cards. And so that draw engine is online and is set up, and now she's got 4 cards in her hand to work with. Double Turbo going on to Guzzlord, a very dangerous card. When you see it come out, you know the potential it has. That Red Banquet ability, the ability to take 1 extra prize card if it knocks something out. And in a format like GLC where prize denial or prize advantage is it can be a huge swing, knowing that that's on the bench ready to attack can be dangerous. But you see there with Anguish Cry on Spiritomb, because it did have the 2 damage counters pushing up to 70 HP, it had it right in play, ready to knock out that Tatsugiri, and so she takes her first prize. Nate now playing Lance. Obviously, if you know from the games, one of the most renowned dragon trainers, but the Lance here effectively allows him to search for 3 dragon Pokemon and put them into his hand, so he will have plenty of options. Look at what he goes. He does grab that Gabite, the Dreepy, and then that Axew. Looking at going to have an almost full bench here ready to go. And so Gabite using that Dragon Call ability, and he can search for a deck for any dragon Pokemon, and that's something he can do once per turn.
I also kind of want a dungeon deck so I can have side quests.
No Diamond is gonna have a crossover with Kalos.
It came out today.
Steeler. I'm gonna get it. I downloaded it.
Thank you, Michael.
There's like a Warthog, shotgun, and all that.
I have the grenade one, and I'm making everyone cry.
Dragon Horde ability allowing Nate to refresh his hand. Now with 4 cards, having 1, and then is choosing to pass. Hisuian Heavy Ball down. Once you can look at your face down prize cards, reveal a basic Pokemon you find there and put it into your hand, and then return Hisuian Heavy Ball to your prizes. Jordan choosing to fail that search. Now, if that decision was because there was no basic Pokemon in her prize cards, or she chose not to take one, that is her own choice. But either way, that is a fail. Galarian Weezing being pitched to activate Liepard's trade ability. Sableye going down. A really good tool card with that Excavate ability. Once per turn, you can look at top deck card of your deck, and then you can choose to discard that card. Really lets her decide, does she want to see that card that she would see off of trade from Liepard? So really it gives her the ability to see 3 cards instead of 2 off that ability. It's really nice.
You're welcome. Also, thank you.
Thank you, Clark. That's so awesome.
know you're also in blue. You can run acid removal. Sometimes you just have to let go. Like just, if you've never come on a blue player with until you play a tsunami as a mono blue player,
Jordan retreating the Spiritomb and then moving the Hoopa into the active, using that Assault Gate ability for 90 damage. But the condition upon that is if the Pokemon doesn't move from the bench to the active spot that turn, the attack does nothing. But obviously, because she retreated, it works. What's up, Kanani? Appreciate you coming in, dropping a chat, saying hello. We are playing Gym Leader Challenge. I'm sure you probably are aware of that, but yeah, happy to have you here as we watch these competitors go at it in this singleton format in this tournament that we have going on here. So Nate now searching his deck for a dragon Pokemon off of that Dragon Call ability for the Gabite, deciding what's going to be the best play here. Does he search for the Garchomp, which has that devastating attack that we have? Does he choose to evolve into Fracture off the Axew? Does he choose to instead go, to continue that Dreepy line? And so there we are. So someone asks, is Jordan winning yet? Just joined. So Jordan is up 5 prizes to 6. So I guess technically, if you wanted to say that, yes, you could say she's winning right now. All right, that Gabite now having evolved into Garchomp with that Sonic Slip ability. So during the turn it's evolved until the end of the opponent's next turn. It does not take any damage or effects of attack. So it essentially a free turn. I guess invincibility. I mean, you can gust around it, you can move around it, so the option there. So Nate gonna pitch Jock off Quick Ball to search his deck for another basic Pokemon. So is going to fail that. So was gonna thin his deck if that was the decision in the direction that he was gonna go, or just have a setup for play should a KO happen, having an immediate Pokemon response. So that's a fail. Gonna shuffle his deck.
And they're gonna beat the
Right. Dragon Toward off Regidrago. Once again, Nate, you saw him do it last turn, draw until he has 4 cards in hand. Had 1, so drew 3. And then now Axew evolving into Fracture. Dracloak with that ever important ability. He can look at the top 2 cards of his deck, put 1 into his hand, 1 into the bottom of his deck. Doing that now, that was such a fantastic addition to Dragon to be able to have. And what's even more exciting in all of that, it's not even Michael. What even was really good is that there is no Dragon single prizer Dragapult, and so you're still using Dracloak just for that draw ability, not even for its attack, because it's that good. Math skills are hard, Michael. Michael, math skills are hard. Yeah, but hopefully not when you play fire. What opens up?
I'm not playing. I think.
All right, Nate attacking, taking his first prize card, and has now evened that race. And has now evened that race, so it is now 5 prizes to 5 prizes, and the Garchomp can't be damaged until the end of Jordan's turn because of that Sonic Slip ability for when it's evolved. It has an invincibility ability on it, so Nate's got a threatening attacker here, and we're going to see how Jordan responds. Getting rid of Lux Cape and Float Zone, so Nate's free retreat and then Nate's damage booster, or Nate's HP booster on that. Sorry, I'm just getting a video of gameplay. Because I gotta put up. I just see your knuckles in it right now.
Oh, you're gonna see a more.
Okay.
And the right attack is disaster for 110. And start
Like a threat. If this is in the way, I can also run it under the table too. Okay.
Not the way.
Jordan building Spite even more on that Spiritomb, now having 4 damage counters on it, which does left with, if when she chooses to attack to it, it could do 170 damage. That's incredibly dangerous and incredibly powerful. And the Floatstone now gone, so she can retreat it and have it saved for her next turn. All right, let's see what happens here.
Play Irida.
Jordan's always serious.
Still hard to tell without.
Without the best. Does for the viewers at home, because we got an ask, does Sonic Slip and I prevent effects of attacks too, or just damage? Okay. Okay.
So yeah, so disable wouldn't work.
Disable wouldn't work. Okay. Yeah, had an ask about that and want to be able to provide, and didn't want to assume incorrectly. Sacrifice the Snom. Right. First Seeker going down, getting Lusamine. So Lusamine, a very important card in GLC. Add 2 in any combination. What'd you say? You air quoted? Oh, disable. Oh, you did the attack, just didn't have the effect. Okay. Cool. All right. So Sonic Slip is now off the table for Nate. So knows that the Garchomp, even with the still Dragon Blade with a devastating attack, it can now be damaged, and that gives Jordan the opportunity to continue swinging and not even getting back in the fight because it's even staying in the fight. But we're going to see what Nate does here. He obviously, on the surface, without doing anything else, would have the KO on the Sableye. So he does have the chance to go down to 4 prizes and have a prize lead on Jordan. But what utilities, what tools does he have? Here. Nate assessing a board, having used one of his abilities already, and then now that Dragonite having involved with that Jess Cruise's ability, so his Pokemon in play have no retreat cost. Now he can freely move and pivot in and out of a round of abilities depending on what's needed. So does he swing here with the Garchomp, knowing that it'll get KO'd by at least the Spiritomb next turn if Jordan gets an energy on it and be there, or does he choose to pivot out and do something else and leave the Garchomp to fight for another day?
You gotta pay attention to like where you put stuff in.
Yeah,
How you put stuff.
I got it.
You really gotta be better about like laying out the energy cards also, so you can see them.
Ain't gonna play Guzma, moving up the Liepard.
Well, I just laid
And then now he himself has to move another Pokemon into the active, so it's a swing for swing. But, you know, because Dragonite does allow his Pokemon to have free retreat, he could just pitch it right back. But you might be looking to use Dragon Horde here to be able to continue to draw. So 3 cards in hand. He'll just draw the 1. All right. Yep, there's that free retreat ability. Jet Cruise coming off. Garchomp going back up into play. And then we see Dragon Blade for the knockout, discarding the top 2 cards of his deck. He does lose a Rescue Stretcher and a Guzma and Hala, so a Search supporter and then a recovery card.
I think I'll stay here so I can like more easily talk to them here.
And she's assessing her options here. She has lost her draw engine, but she does still have that excavate ability off the Sableye, so she can just like look at the top card of her deck. She decides she doesn't need Sableye, or not Sableye, doesn't need Silent Lab, which disables the abilities of all basic Pokemon in play. Not an important card for her. Obviously, she really needs that Building Spike card, but gonna retreat now into Sableye for the free retreat off that, and does have that disable attack. Dark Patch going down, the energy going on the Spiritomb, and so when it gets back in the active, and when that time comes, it is now live, and it is able to swing for an astronomically large amount of damage. But you're going to see Hex Maniac come down, so until the end of Nate's next turn, none of his Pokemon have abilities. So that free retreat ability is not in play. The Unnerve ability from his Fracture, the Dragon's Horde, the Sonic Slip obviously doesn't matter because that's already passed. And the Dracloak's ability to look at the top 2, so no abilities for any of Nate's Pokemon on this turn. Does he manually retreat and then go into attack and take the KO, or does he just simply say pass, I'll lose it? He is going to pay the 1 retreat cost, bringing up the Dragonite there. With the Dragon Energy, Special Energy on that, so that attack is now live, and that is on board and ready to go.
Looks like I got a fresh one to win.
And then Nate going to take the knockout. Again, going to discard card from his deck, discarding a Rare Candy and a Kyurem. Right. And now the Spiritomb is here in the active. That Building Spike hitting for 160 now. She puts 1 more damage counter on it. It hits for 170. Or no, it hits for 190, which is enough to take out that Dragonite. And Nate's Pokemon in play no longer have free retreat, so Jordan could lock something in the active stall. She's got really, really good options here, and that's very important. But what we see is an energy going on to the Guzzlord, the double turbo, and now the basic dark energy. Puts it at 3, but once it has 4, that red banquet ability is live, and she'll be able to start taking extra prizes, an all-important ability, as we talked about in GLC. Or not an ability, but an all-important opportunity I guess can't think of the word on the top of my tongue, but prize manipulation, prize denial, all that is so important and so good in a singleton, single prize format like that. Playing trivia.
The card I chose
Oh, okay.
was the card I needed was Gladion. Because Garchomp was the last prize card. I was like, I know what this card is. Like, fuck it. I'll just have some Dialga brought up Garchomp and just finish it. I was like,
Argue someone else.
yeah.
So, Loose Mean being played, Jordan putting back 2 cards from her discard pile into her hand, so
Well, got it.
she had options for next turn to be able to continue to play, but Building Spite off the Spiritomb, pushing it to 50, so we can now swing for 160, which is not enough to knock out the Dragonite. My math was actually off. I thought I had it at 40, which would have been enough. So I've been speaking wrong this whole time. So up on me to learn and be a little bit better. Guzma being put back into hand. Guzma being played. Bossing up the Guzzlord. The Guzzlord. Garchomp going live, and then does it swing or does he retreat back into the Dragonite, knowing that it's just a damage, knowing that it's just 2 damage counters away from being knocked out. Aurora Energy going on to the Drudigon, so it can count as any energy, but the condition he does have to discard a card from his hand. Dragon Blade knocking out the Guzzlord, and Nate losing a Water Energy and a TM Evo off of that requirement to discard the top 2 cards of his deck. But now the Spiritomb is back in the active, and Clara coming down, an all-important card to recur Pokemon and recur energy. So you see her getting the Guzzlord, you see her getting 2 basic energy. Does she get down something else to be able to help her? We'll see. She will get back Sableye, so an attacker and then the utility Pokemon, having those ready to go. Excavate gonna look at the top card of her deck, deciding she doesn't need the Weavile. She did lose the Sneasel earlier, and so getting rid of that earlier now to see the Weavile means you definitely don't need it. So an easy decision for her there to increase her chances of getting a card that she needs next time she draws or goes not even into her deck, but from that next card in her deck, whether it's a supporter draw, an ability draw, or just your standard draw 1 per turn in play. Energy attachment going on to the Zorua, and then now Anguish Cry from the Spiritomb will knock out that Garchomp, which has been a menace really all game since it evolved. Who does Nate put in play to respond? Looking at the top 2 cards of his deck, putting one in and putting one back onto the bottom of the deck. It's worth noting that the deck is getting a little low in terms of the number of cards. That might not be that much of an issue if he doesn't, swing so much with the Pokemon's attacks, which require the discarding of cards from the deck. But it still is worth noting that it's low. And so he'll get Super Rod off Raihan, getting back Kyurem, Haxorus, and shuffling those 2 back in. You can hear the Warhammer players in the background. Somebody got something, and they said, let's go. So Kyurem, Haxorus, and then a Water Injury going back in Nate's deck. You notice he's not shuffling. It's because he's going to go back in, so better use of time, given his resources and cards in hand, to just sit there and say, I'll shuffle in a second, but I'm going back in, or I'm going to do some other manipulation. So Fracture evolving into Haxorus. So multiple attackers now online for Nate. Get out of here, bot. Alright, and then Drudagon's Revenge ability, gonna take the knockout. What? The bot? Yeah. Yeah. I told her to get out. Go home, duck. Dallas got that one. Jordan playing Professor's Letter, which allows her to search her deck for 2 cards. She is, for 2 basic energy cards, she is just going to take the 1 off of that. Take the 1 off of that. The cards in her hand, let's see what she plays. Going to use Sableye Excavate ability again, deciding, oh yeah, no, I really need that. She's thinking about this one. It's clearly a tough decision. Not as easy as when she saw the Weavile. I wonder what card that is. I wonder what she's doing. So she is going to leave it off that Excavate ability. Says, nope, I'm not getting rid of it. It's staying. She views that as an important card. Alright, Jordan getting Galarian Moltres off the quick ball, and does have that ability where when you play it onto your bench, you can attach 2 basic energy cards to it. So does she sit there and say, you know what, I'm powering this up this turn? I guess we're about to find out. Now escape rope going down, both players switching bench Pokemon to the active, but Nate goes first, so she's put the Sableye in play. The Galarian Moltres will go down with 1 energy card. She'll attach the Sableye, and she will disable that Dragon Tort ability. Innate will free retreat into Haxorus, and then we'll take the knockout, and we'll take game 1. It was a very methodical match there, but see both players played that adequately as best as they could. So, good first game. Sets the tone for the rest of the matches for the rest of the night. So interested to see where that plays through. So while players get set up the matches, going to move to another screen, and then we'll pop back when everyone else is set up.
Yeah, and which was the right way to do it, because if you had played Sure, I've had like a couple of things in hand that would have made sense at the time. So, yeah, that was definitely the way to do it.
Very tricky. You had some bad prizes too. I saw that just at the end. I saw it off your heavy ball too, and I was like, I think those prizes are very bad for her. And then I just saw it, and I was like, yeah.
It's kind of funny was mine and Chris's match. I had one prize card left, and I knew exactly what it was.
It's nice. It's nice when you know that. You know what you can play.
Because when I did Dragon Call, I was like, where's Garchomp?
And you're like,
in my head,
and now you know where it's at. Yeah.
So we're in the prize pool. I had one card, contact Gladion, grabbed it, brought it out, retreated Dialga, brought it out, just finished the game. I was like,
nice.
That's why I wanted to get rid of it, because you have small hand size.
Right, and now could be increasing the right. But,
You're going to have to have which at that point I would have been fine with. And then I just think of here's an after and I'm like, okay, now
So on Soma winners, it's a 5/4 number enters or attacks to her to land by played. You pay green, discard a land, gain 3 turn, and then I've also paid I also pay one red, which is land, draw a card, 2 and a black, discard a land. Because of the links, the counter's come off, so we can't get the game. Normally it's more than
I have to readjust. You want to go on stream next? Okay.
I wouldn't mind being on.
You might face Michael, so you know. I'm gonna put Michael on stream next if y'all are okay with both y'all are okay with moving.
I just been taking a long break from streaming. It's so much stuff, and plus with football season up right now, it's like I can't really do all that.
Yeah, we can get you on stream third round or something.
Yeah.
I literally told him, I was like, because you were staying home with Jay, I am going to end up playing too. And sure enough, we were. That's just how college all you see is the shiny first I got one.
Time right back and
then 4, 1, 2, 3.
I just kept her on your yes. Why would you do that? I'm gonna do that as I didn't know yes, that's 9 minutes. I'm going to pay that, so I'll take $2.
yeah, I think the Vinganium is actually really culture.
It does. So guess what? Everybody gets a card. Comes in tabs. Comes in tabs. Great.
And then just from there, just like the
I'm gonna be jumping.
big bench.
Everybody gets another bird. Doesn't matter. 2 and 2. 1 and 1. Yeah.
I mean, I'm still looking at me.
I'm gonna use jumping because I can. Have some drag moves and I'm gonna use No, it costs 2 less as long as there are 4 card types. By graveyard, there's 12. Oh yeah, sure. I don't want to take it right now. That's me. Read it. He did it. And I'm gonna use the last 2. For lightning bolt. My lightning bolt.
I'm gonna research after anyways.
All the boards are at bottom right now. No, yeah, you have a champion. That's going to be a problem. And the only reason that counters is because of you. I just did. This is the only reason to be able to
So if I'm going second turn 1, I don't
Hey, Nate. Both of y'all okay? Bodhi, you can stream. Is y'all too?
I was gonna move there, but he already filmed you, so
All right, cool. All right.
guess he's doing a different matchup.
Okay. Okay, it's definitely zoomed in. So set up your playmat and then let me.
Hey, Mason, do you mind?
Yeah. Do you just want to just run it?
Unplug it? Is it good? Are you full?
I mean, I'm trying to. I think if we want to just run it, you run it under your mat. So that works. Let me get names. Okay. Yeah. All right. The camera is not.
I can sit it down. Thought you were gonna sit. I had a feeling like he's gonna go with the trend of getting the 2 first backs off that.
I mean, I was playing or colorless last week, or like 2 weeks ago. So today I was like, I just didn't know what I was feeling, and I just was like, I'll play this.
Just dust it off,
Yeah, but zoomed in a little bit more. I mean, I could even go down more if I had to.
And then have it come up and switch again.
We're gonna go down till I get to y'all's playmats.
And I did change it a little bit after last time, just updating it with
new stuff from newer sets, or
literally just stuff I didn't have before. It's like I didn't have Flowstone last time.
Yeah, there we
I
go.
had rescue board in here.
Gotcha.
So, stuff like that.
Yeah, what there's
I mean, that makes a difference.
Honestly, Michael, this might be the better call if you now have that.
I had to try.
Set up much lower. Oh my God, that's so much better.
Nice.
Is that in either of y'all's way? Okay. But you're good. Okay.
You should find a way to like maybe mark them at some point.
Mark the line where it needs to be. Yeah, I can bring just chalk or a silver Sharpie next time. Cool. All right. Round 2 here, going into it. We've got Bodhi and Michael. Bodhi coming off a win, and then Michael coming off a bye, which early on in the game, getting that bye in round 1 does count as a win. So both players coming off a win, one maybe with an asterisk, or the way Bodie's talking right now, Bodie's also comes with an asterisk too. So we got 2 asterisk players here. Gonna see what they can do. Decks are shuffled, cards are cut. Gonna draw their 7.
Pay attention over there.
Didn't you say you put like a book on that?
Yeah, I put books here for like a week.
Yeah.
I mean, this actually had 2 here.
You got a mulligan, Michael?
No.
Okay. Y'all good?
Justin's is really good.
No one else has started. Yes, they're playing. Yeah, they started. So, yep, y'all are good to go. All right, fist bump. Players get going. All right, so you have water versus fire.
I'm not going first. Draw them.
Yeah. All right. A little bit of confusion amongst the players, but gentlemen's agreement. So Michael going to go first, going to get that level ball, and going to start with his prize searches, but also going to search for a Pokemon with 90 HP or less and put it into his hand. So probably going to get something to be able to set up his bench and be able ready to go. So see what comes from that. While Michael does that, I'm going to stand up. I'm going to see Magby come down. While he does that, I'm going to stand up and take some videos for Instagram.
Can you see my hand?
I can see your hand, yes. But a reminder, I can see both of your hands, but I only will ever speculate on what's in your hand. So I'll never comment. In case you can hear me, I'll never comment. Turn attach going on to Moltres, and then Michael retreating that Moltres down into the Magby.
What was it again? I got distracted by him asking about that.
Not sure whether to use it right now. I think it might make sense to take it. I'm not going back in, but I'm going to.
Satotl, Remoraid, and then a Whalmer coming down. Okay. All right.
Now play Poke here.
Bodie playing Townap, flips his prize cards face open. It's a very good card to be able to see what your prizes are. You don't have to think too much about your deck search. You know what's there. You also know what to take when you take a prize, but it also does give your opponent information too. And that can sometimes be a little detrimental if you're focused, okay, I know he has that. I know they're probably going to get that. Or putting advantage of it. Like, oh, I know this evolution is prize, so I don't need to target this. That could stay on for another turn or two. So information is there. Information is prevalent. Now Michael assessing his options, thinking on what he wants to do. Rainbow Energy going down onto Moltres, gonna put a damage counter on it, and then Moltres, that Inferno Wings ability does do more damage if it does have damage counters on it. So able to swing for 90, that would theoretically be a knockout on the Satotl if that's what he chooses to do. But before that, he's going to play Hilda, search his deck for an evolution Pokemon and an energy card. It's been a great addition for standard decks, but also GLC, especially decks that run a lot of special energy, and it's just nice because it doesn't have to be a basic energy. You can get anyone that's really going to help you in that opportunity. So that Heat Energy, which is a staple in Fire deck, it's really the only exclusive Fire Energy card that's there, and then he's going to search for an evolution Pokemon, going to get down Magcargo. The proxy Magcargo. They don't need to know that, or maybe they do. I don't know. All right. God, I had Karina wrote. It's crazy. So as we knocked out Inferno Wings, doing 90, gonna knock out the Satotl, and then now Michael, one up in the prize race. But Bodie, does put Whalmer into the active. And now Brooklet Hill going to search his deck for a basic. Brooklet Hill reads basic fighting or water. Because Bodhi is playing water, he will search his deck for basic water Pokemon and will put it onto his bench.
I'm going to destroy Yalamaya. If Brittany had attacked me at all for item shopping, whenever I had Yalamaya attacking him, because they said versus my deer right now, and then I would attack the hero. I don't know what you ordered for me. That's really not late. Mostly I wanted to trigger
And so now we've seen Bodhi get Squirtle off the Brooklet Hill, but then playing teammates. Teammates search your deck for 2 cards and put them into your hand, but the condition being that during your previous turn, your opponent had to have knocked out one of your Pokemon, which it did, because Michael knocked out the Citadel. So it's a very good response card. It's a way to get back in the fight, stay in the fight, or continue your board setup if you're comfortable and content losing a prize. Bodhi getting those 2 cards, and he now has options going forward.
Versus is always massive.
I think they're going to add those to his hand, and they're going to continue his turn.
This looks a little bit.
You sure that low it's not in your way? Bodhi playing Team Evo and then using that evolution ability can declare up to 2 Pokemon. He only has 1 Pokemon that can evolve, and that's a Squirtle, so he declared the Squirtle and now has evolved it into Wartortle. Wartortle likely seeing that, it means he's likely playing Rain Dance Blastoise as a way to accelerate energy as often as he likes from his hand to one of his Pokemon.
Do you want to cut? I don't know if to shuffle anyways in a second, so it doesn't matter.
Michael playing Guzma, knocking out the Octillery, and they're going to take that knockout. Turn attach going on to Werelord. So, because Bodhi is behind in prizes, the Werelord is online. Blastoise is now live too, and so an attacker and an engine card are set up. And Bodhi leads in Brooklet Hill to set up another water Pokemon, getting that Sobble down.
No, so I'm just playing my Yeah.
I don't know if you had or not. Okay. Yes, I'm about to talk about that.
Is the one in your hand by chance a dark field? Because I need to do a card.
I'll even let you know if it's not going to
So, Bodhi playing what's arguably one of the most important cards in a water deck. Irida, search your deck for a water Pokemon and an item card. And honestly, losing that card, if you think back to standard format, losing that card really hurt a lot of water decks in standard format because you didn't have that consistency to draw. Obviously, that plus Greninja with pitching in energy and then drawing cards, but Irida was such a good staple supporter, and you often saw her being run as a 4-of in water decks because she was that good. But you're seeing Bodhi getting Veluza as the water Pokemon and Professor's Letter. Bodhi immediately playing Professor's Letter to search a deck for 2 basic energy cards out of his hand. Those are going to be obviously the water energy, and then knowing that you have Blastoise's ability to be able to attach it to him in any way that he wants. Right. And then Wailord, Special Wave, taking and doing that knockout. Michael playing Rescue Stretcher, putting Moltres back into his deck. Back into his hand, rather. So putting it back on the bench, assessing the cards in his hand. Does he have a play? Can he do something? Turn attach going off of Moltres. Bossing up the Blastoise. And then Inferno Wing is going to do the 20 damage.
Was that your second top card?
It flipped over really quick.
Because that Moltres doesn't have damage counters on it.
Since I drew it, it's all over.
So he drew the top card of his deck, the second top card fell.
And I saw it flip face up.
So what happened?
When I drew my card for turn, the second card pulled with it, and it just flipped over, and I saw it face up.
So you drew an extra card?
No, I didn't. It just fell out. I drew one, and the second one fell out. Do I shuffle it in?
Let's get your orientation correct, because
sure.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Let's play Pokemon right. Which card is it?
That one.
Yeah, it hit the ground, flipped face up, and I saw what it did.
So I do this.
Yeah, for sure.
Bodhi evolving the Sobble into Drizzle, searching his deck for a trainer card.
Yeah.
So you do that, and then you got your card you drew for turn, and we're all good? Cool.
Thank you. It's just easier.
Right. Bodhi searching his deck for a trainer card. Is he going to get something to get the Blastoise out of the active, or is he content to just maybe leave it there? Going to get Lux Cape, which is just going to beef up one of his attackers, make it much harder to kill. However, if it is knocked out, Michael does then have the ability to take one extra prizer. Versus Seeker, going to get back Irida, play Irida again, search for a water Pokemon and an item card. Let's see Switch Wrath and Inteleon come out.
I was trying. I did.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. This was all in his hand.
So for what it's worth, I actually hurt myself getting it. I died next turn. I know. I'm like, what? 2, 4, 6, 8.
It must be nice because it's nasty. Now that I know you weren't here, it was like, yeah, that's not going to see day today. Yeah, my lesson enough.
I took out the report from just so slow. Why isn't there a link? There is some bad red thing that is in the card that says landfall for games haste.
I'm gonna go back in.
Yeah.
Sure, Godlight.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever gotten Cloud.
I didn't even know they had an SR. I pulled the illustrator from, was it White Flare? The Axiom?
One of those
The
two,
Axiom,
yeah.
yeah.
Gotcha. So this is the Shadow Fable one.
Good to know there's a lineup for it. How about Exorcist? Is there one for it? Or...
Not for the Shadow Fable one. I don't know about the
I'm pinning that comment, Trey.
normal uses from. Sorry, I was hopping in off to say it's a cut, just because I was talking about like the one in my deck.
I know. I'm very familiar with them.
And then Revenge for knockout.
Alright, so now that Michael has played Raihan, it did allow him to search his deck for a card. Now, that comes after accelerating energy onto one of those Pokemon, but all he had was the Magby, so that's an interesting play there. Michael continuing to search his deck. Using over a deck off Raihan. Still. Quick balling. Okay, cool. Just trying to get that. Yep.
I will see it first. Actually, whoever attacks,
Zapping drop for just 30.
Lux Cape and Heat Energy going on to Ho-Oh, so Ho-Oh now has 100 HP off the Lux Cape and then an additional 20 HP off the Energy. So Ho-Oh sitting at 250 HP. It's quite a beefy, tanky boy there. And not weak to water, so can't just so easily beat that.
Yeah, I didn't realize what my story is. Okay, I'll make the 4 Oh no, I would never.
Did Dustin leave?
Yeah, he dropped it. Yeah. Also, you have to run Pepper Buddies.
Bodhi playing Lysander. Which is boss's orders and taking the knockout, and the prize race is now 3-4. It's now swung back into Bodhi's favor. It's worth noting though, this is a difficult matchup. Once the Whale Lord is online, taking 30 less damage. So the lightning and the fire going on to Ho-Oh. Now Ho-Oh does now able to attack, and it's important to note that it is not weak. To water, so with the HP boost and buff that it has here, it can withstand an attack from the Warelord. That's very important for Michael as he stays into this and looks to even the prize race. Bodine playing Nessa, getting back forward any combination of water Pokemon and energy cards, choosing to get back Satotl, Remoraid, and Octillery. Both of those now going down. That Remoraid obviously evolving to Octillery with the Abyssal Hand to draw cards, and Satotl when it evolves to Titan, it having the special energy attached, almost similar to Warelord. The attack does more damage. Inteleon down now. Bodhi searching his deck for 2 trainer cards. Reveal them and put them into his hand. What'd you get the water off of? Capacious Bucket. Okay. Okay.
Free retreat's gonna be from Nova. Pichu again.
Capacious Bucket, buffing Bullet Hill, and then Rough Seas, allowing Bodhi to heal damage that was done to his Pokemon. And 240, leaving Ho-Oh with just 10 HP left. Michael, Jesus. Tap and they have. Yeah, play. That's a card. I'm 90% sure Michael has it in his deck, and he'll play it when the time comes right. I can't wait for him to see that comment.
Yeah, I don't remember if it had to go to the bench or not. Go ahead and use the
Have slowed down your game and you were setting up and you're like, oh no, I know what that Dragonite does. It's the game clincher really.
Brain Busty, man, if you're watching, saw the follow right before the match started. Thank you. I'm so sorry I missed that. But yeah, happy to have you here. And
it feels a lot nicer to me. But teach their own, I mean.
It's harder too, with one energy less.
Neither are wrong. It's just
Michael retreated into the Magby, choosing to keep that Ho-Oh alive and then attack with that Scorching Heater. Rough Sea is going to heal more damage off the Wailord from that, and going to see how Bodhi responds. Full Blower giving Bodhi another prize. And so now putting that 2-4 up in the prize race. We're fine. Yes, I'll set up a secondary stream from my phone and do that. But he has found a permanent place on his table, so that's been very nice. Right. And so Bodie swings, takes the knockout, and it goes to Michael, and then Michael concedes or just passes, allowing Bodie to take another knockout. Tough match between the two. You saw Michael go up. 4 prizes to 6 early, but then when Bodie got set up and started swinging, and having that weakness and the damage reduction and the damage healing, all that just a mountain to overcome. Trey said next time play Captain Ahab. And that's why I was like, that's a totally legal card he has. That's why I was like, Michael has a card in his deck.
I can put in my graveyard and not get in my deck.
Ryan, Trey's cheering you on in chat.
Where the attorneys? They were all driving there. It's Cannon. I would like to do actually with 6 names per percent.
So, what you see now is the players pile of shuffling, maybe going to try to play another friendly round between matches, so or a chance just to get their decks shuffled and then play ready to go for the next round. So we're going to move to the BRB stream for just a... Actually, I'll just leave this. Are y'all going to play another friendly round? Okay. All right, so now I'm just going to leave this here and just kind of let them play and let y'all watch. Going to kind of back away from the commentary, but just let them do that.
Well, this is a 30-30. This is a 30-30. Using zip line. Yeah. So,
I mean,
I'm saying 30-30 ending. I think it's actually bigger than 30 right now. Which I know it is, because, yeah. And also, Soul of Windgrace. I don't think I can tell anything already. Well, I'm not going to say they're going to come away. They are eating.
Oh, I thought you were trying to do. Oh, it has to be in the active.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Just getting rid of something I don't want to have back.
Makes sense.
And then you do have special energies and just bring down axe for knockout.
Yep. Wise decision.
Well, I mean, no, I'm not. Birds are eating. Birds are eating 35 minutes.
Flappy.
None of it has trash. Kind of important.
For sure. Go with
I would like to putrefy the meat.
Obviously, with that, I'm going to go back in with my attacks. Finally, but not least, using Tech Evo to evolve these two. It's so late, dude. Like, literally, these are prize in there. So it's just like, okay, I guess I'll play with a handicap today. It's not the first time.
For sure. It's probably for the luxury though, but...
Oh, if you want to read luxury, it's in here. Eventually I'll get there. I hope I get there. You can go.
Is off the turn?
Ryan. Tony got it.
I don't want to take something back.
No, for sure. I would have noticed it too. Kind of this type of thing, I guess. I can afford that to die, that's fine. I guess. Okay. Knockout, not
Capture war, energy, turn, I'm going to discard a card. I'm going to Ultra Ball.
I was thinking about it. And you can make copies of that. Are the idle ones
Oh, what's up? Appreciate you coming up on in here. Yeah, glad people are seeing this from Insta. I think I've pretty much personally prioritized going to Worlds, even as a spectator, to film content. I never would be that good to comment, but yeah, no, appreciate you popping in. Players are doing a friendly match right now. We just got done commentating their first one, and so they're just doing a friendly match while we wait for the rest of the round results to come in, and then I'll get back to doing live commentary. So would love to have you hang out here for a little bit while longer as this one finishes out, and then we'll move into round 3 as the matches start getting better. So you see Bodhi with a Lucario and then an Archon on play. The Lucario with the ability Roaring Resolve. Once per turn, you can search your deck for up to 2 energy cards, attach it, and then put damage counters on Lucario for that. I did not go to Worlds this year. The timing was really bad to go from my just personal job. August is a very big month for me, but I think I'm in a better place going into next year. More stability, so I definitely will prioritizing going next year as long as it's in a fun place. I mean, Worlds, I think, regardless of where it's at, but especially if it's in a fun place, I would say. But yeah, that's a big priority. It's a big priority to go next year. Did you have a chance to go at all, or have you been to a major regionals? I was in Atlanta regionals, just because that's very close for us, but. I'm gonna try to go to more regionals later in this season, not Milwaukee or Pittsburgh, but maybe after those I'm gonna look to travel. Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, Worlds being in. That's right. I knew it was in San Francisco. Yeah, so I think I probably would prioritize going out there. Oh, yeah, and being in your backyard too. Yeah. How do you not go? That's like when Atlanta. For us, like an hour drive from all of our crew to go to Atlanta, so that was really nice. Yeah, good. Appreciate it. I want to see a Pokemon Center, but I want to see the players. I want to do the streams, and I think it's really nice. And do side events too would always be really fun. Yeah, absolutely. With your college move-in date at LA. Hey, that's great, right? You get to move in, you're settled in college, and what better way to spend kind of your first couple weeks at college than going to Pokemon Worlds. Very nice. Was that freshman move-in, or was that maybe sophomore, junior going into play? But yeah, that's got to be nice to be able to have that as kind of to kick off your year. It's like, yeah, let's go to Worlds. Second year. Yeah, cool. Yeah. So, well then look, San Francisco next year in your backyard again. And to go right around the move-in time as that as well. So, being able to double dip there.
Oh, those are careful because, like I said, I'm just gonna retreat and kill you when you take me out.
Yeah. Did you play at all? Did you qualify for Worlds? Were you a player, or were you more of just a spectator? You wish you luck on obtaining passes for Worlds 2026. I know, man. For me, I don't think I would. I don't think I'd want to go as a player. Obviously, it's a nice honor, but I'm not that skilled and that good enough. I would just want to get a spectator pass, right? And just be able to see and do all the things, play inside events. Our professors got spectator passes and then passed it off to us, but I just couldn't come. So I might hopefully bank that one of them can go. But yeah, I'm gonna fingers crossed for everything for a spectator pass. Did you play anything on the side event at all, or just truly just embrace the scene, be involved in Anaheim as it's all out there, watch Go, VGC, and even obviously standard TCG?
Yeah.
Do one of y'all want to report to Ryan real quick? You already did, okay. Sorry.
I was getting into it. I'm not gonna lie.
Cool. All right, round 2's over. We're going to be moving on to round 3 here in just a second. So once the players get set up, we'll change the names over, and then we'll get going. What? Yeah, I think you're done. I think everyone's done. You want stream? Brandon, you fine with stream? Okay. Cool. All right, we're gonna have Nate and Brandon. So I'm gonna change. Gonna type these in because I don't have a slick way to be like, check out these people, and then get them going. Oh, I gotta shrink Brandon. Your name's gonna stay that way. First come, first served pass instead of an interest list. Oh, well. Let's hope scalpers don't take passes. Let's hope scalpers don't take passes like they do our cards, right? I zoomed in, Nate, from round 1, so literally I can still see your hand, but I can see your playmat. Now there's no extra table space. But so I don't think you've sat next to me before, so just fair warning, I can see your hand, but I'll never comment. And I can see Nate's hand too, but I'll never comment on what's in your hand. It's only ever speculative. If I wanted to comment on, if I get Nate's permission, I'll tell you exactly what's in Nate's hand. But yeah, so just know I can see your hand, and I try to delay my comments just by like a minute or two, or a second or two, so you know what's going on. But it can be a little bit jarring right off the bat just to hear me talking, but I think Jordan says it drowns it out.
If he's too much,
Punch him. Well, I tried to be quiet, a little bit quieter during y'all's than I normally am, and so I'm going to be curious to see how that shows up on the stream. Yeah. And I think you get everyone no matter what. It's just a lot. You love to have headphones. Yeah. Yeah. Bouncing off the walls, yeah. Yeah, the free stuff at Worlds would be great, and even Pokemon Go stuff. We have a guy. here that's big into Pokemon Go that qualified for Worlds in the competition, and so he's really big, and so he hits all the regionals and got that invite. So he was out there, so he got a couple things for people. I think that'd be the really fun thing, is to meet the content creators, but meet the guys and the girls that are nice and friendly and that are willing to chat and bounce ideas. I think as you think of content creators, and even as I start stepping into that space, right, that's something I really want to get into. Can y'all two indulge me? You see both players taking a mulligan here, so they're gonna shovel their hands back into the deck and draw again. I know you've done that, but I'm gonna try to film a reel, like a promotional video. Can y'all indulge me and somebody just roll a dice? Sorry, it's so dumb. Go. Just shit. Do it again. Sorry, and put it sideways. Okay. Maybe I'm gonna tell. You're good to go. Alright, there you go, heads. You got your Go Plus signed by a Pogo creator. Oh, that's really cool. That's gotta be really nice. Yeah, you meet some of those people that really kind of inspire, I guess, maybe, but just people that was like, oh yeah, you do cool things, you have cool Pokemon. I was telling some folks here, I'm getting back into Pogo after being gone for about 2.5, 3 years. It just became a lot to try to keep up with, and even honestly, it still kind of is. But one of the fun things that I really that I've noticed about coming back is the spaces. The game seems to be like giving me shinies galore, and it's crazy, and it's got to have turned it up as a way to draw me back in. I got 2 shiny Shadow Chikoritas, in the span of like an hour, which was crazy. And then I got a shiny Rookity, and I'd not ever caught a Rookity, so it was my first one, so it was really weird. But it felt good to get back into Pogo, but I'm having to tell myself that that's a trap. All right, so Nate takes another mulligan while Brandon does get his card, so that basic goes down. And then Nate gonna shuffle that hand, gonna get the deck cut, and hopefully he doesn't go again, and you have to shuffle again. They go through. It's zoom in. All right, Nate does get that basic down, and you see he's got Gibble there in the active as his lead, and then Brandon does have Tapu Bulu. Nate going first, going to play Evolution Incense. Search his deck for an Evolution Pokemon and put it into his hand. Evolution Incense, a very good card, and oftentimes better than Evo Soda. And yeah, I think that's because it's not restricted to what you have in play. You search for any Evolution Pokemon, right? Even a Pokemon that's like is going to be a dead card, so you can get rid of. Pogo, my pack pulls have been awful. I wish you could have seen my booster bundles. I got a couple of SIRs, but none of them were Pokemon that I like, so I just put them in my trade binder, and then they're just sitting here. So Nate doing that first kind of prize check, trying to make mental note of what he has available to him, what have available throughout the game as he, starts play without prizes, and then trying to figure out what are those exact 6 things that are missing. But off of Evolution Incense, you do see him grab that Gabite with that Dragon Call ability once per turn. Search your deck for a Dragon card. An absolute staple in Dragon decks. It's almost one of those, even if you're not going to play the Garchomp, it's almost like you're going to play a Gabite to kind of search, right? It's like when you play Dark, you're going to play Galarian. You're going to play Galarian Weezing. If you're playing Colors, you're going to play Bibarel. Possibly you're going to even play Squovit. So, yeah. Your marker pins. See, that's the type of stuff that I think really sucks, right? People scalping pins of all things, right? Like, there's no monetary value, and I put air quotations up even though you couldn't see them, but there are no air quotations, so that kind of thing. No, dude, I love the wall of text. It's nice to be able to hear and read that and have conversations, and it gives me something to talk to you about and talk to the people about. But obviously, you know me, I'd have killed for a Murkrow pin. So Nate attached the water energy pass, and now going over to Brandon. Brandon does play Skyla, search his deck for a trainer card, and is going to get Buddy Poffin. And Brandon going to get down Turtwig, the first of his 2 Pokemon that have 70 HP or less, and then going to get Rosalia, and now going to continue that search through, and going to make note of, like, all right, here's what's prized, here's what I know. Now he knows he's got that, and then using those cards plus what's in his hand, going to continue to search, going to continue to play, and see what comes down next. And then now Quick Ball going down. Once again, search his deck for another basic Pokemon, so Brandon's really going to get a chance, an opportunity here to set up his board. And you saw that he pitched Avery off of that. You know, Avery is a very good card. Draw 3, very important, but the secondary effect of your opponent discards their bench until they have 3 Pokemon, 3 bench Pokemon. So if someone has a bench of 5, your opponent's got to get rid of 2, and it's a chance to really disrupt their setup. But seeing as Nate having that, just the Gibble in play, and yeah, sure, it's entirely possible he has a bench built up next turn, but Brandon's decided that the Avery was not important for right now and choosing to discard it, so strategic play. And now Bulbasaur's down, so Nate with an attacker and 2 utility mon set up, and even obviously the Wood Hammer on the Tapu Bulu. There you go. Brandon's going to pass, and Nate's going to look at his hand and make some assessments about what he does. The standard meta phased out Sword and Shield back in April. So all of Sword and Shield from standard was phased out. For GLC, for Gym Leader Challenge, the meta includes everything printed from black and white on. So about 10 years, 11 years worth of cards printed and available. Now, obviously, anything that doesn't have a rule box, so these single prizers, and then there's a couple of cards which are obviously banned because they're very strong. They overpower a deck, and so you see about one ban of a card per year. It's a very small ban list, but for standard, yes, Sword and Shield is faded out, and that faded out in April. So now it's all Scarlet and Violet cards, and then soon to be Megas. But Gym Leader Challenge features everything from black and white up until modern release. So you've got Destined Rivals being played, Prismatic Evolutions being played here, Journey Together. What was the previous set? It's escaping me. Black Bolt, White Flare. So all those are available, and then it'll include the mega sets of the baby Pokemon 2 weeks after they're played. So yeah, great question. So Nate evolves the Gibble into Gabite, and then uses that Gabite's Dragon Call ability to search for a Dragon Pokemon. But he also plays Lance. So Lance is that card treasure deck for 3 Dragon Pokemon. So now he has a plethora of dragons available to him. So he gets down Axew, Dratini, and then Regidrago, and then Garchomp has now been put into his hand. He can't evolve it, the Gabite, that turn, but he's thinned his deck, right? He has one less card that he'll need, and now a Quick Ball pitching Marnie going down. Gonna get Druddigon with that revenge attack play, and so in the span of one turn and supporter cards, Nate has set up 4 benched Pokemon. Yeah, I'm happy to explain the format. So I mean, there's several formats, but from what we're playing is what we're playing right now is what's known as Gym Leader Challenge, and so it's an alternate format that is a singleton type. So if you think about Magic the Gathering, it's very similar to Commander. You can only play one type. The difference is, right, there's not like dual types or 3 or 4 color or 5 color types like there are in Magic. It's you've got mono red, mono green, black, white, blue. In Pokemon and Gym Leader Challenge, you can only play one type of Pokemon in your deck. So you see Brandon's playing exclusively Grass, Nate's playing exclusively Dragon, and we got other players here. I'm seeing Cuddleless, I'm seeing Water, I'm seeing Fairy, Dark being played. So you can only play one type, and then you can only play one of each card. So again, just like Commander, one of each card in play. So it's all about building a deck that's comprised of cards of the same type to build an extensive strategy. Yeah, I figured that was a very easy parallel to play. And then again, there's a little bit of a ban list. And then energies in this are just like lands. You can play as many lands as you need. You can play as many energies as you need that are into play that your help, but they all have abilities very similar. So yeah, that's honestly like Commander's the best way to tend it. And then Standard is I mean like modern in Magic, right? There's a current allowance list, and Pokemon does it based upon the most recently released set. They're numbered or they're lettered, A through Z, and each year they lower the number. So right now we're on the G regulation, so cards have to have the G mark. So effectively they've been printed in the last 2 years, or the last 2.5 years, and then next April rotational out, and it'll be cards printed within that last 2 years. So it keeps cards relevant for 2 years, and they rotate out. Yeah, I'm happy to explain that. So you saw Brandon sit there and play a pretty extensive combo, but played Roserade, which is when the Roselia evolves into Roserade, searches deck for a card. He then sat there and played Turffield Stadium. So Turffield Stadium, once per turn, he can search for an Evolution Grass. He then searched that for Grotle. Grotle lets him deck search for a Grass Pokemon. So 3 search engines, 3 seeks right back to back to back, ready to be able to go and set him up. And now that energy attached to Tapu Bulu, he can only attack 1. He doesn't meet the energy requirement, and then he will pass. I'm told there is no max hand size in Pokemon. That is true. There is no max hand size like in Pokemon. And what's even funnier about that is there are cards. There's cards that read that just simply say draw 3. Like that's all it reads. It says draw 3. But what's funny about that is like, in Pokemon, that's considered bulk. Like, that's not a card you're going to see played extensively. You're not going to see it on any deck to draw 3, but in like a format in Magic, and maybe even Yu-Gi-Oh!, just draw 3 cards with no conditions, no pitch, no nothing. Right? It's so important. And yeah, in Commander, that's important when you think of you're in the singleton type. But yeah, there is no max hand size. So you'll see these players go throughout the game. Nate probably get up to a hand size of 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, or you might even get down to 1 and hope he draws. Yeah. So you saw Nate here play Guzma and Hala, and Guzma and Hala read search your deck for a stadium card, but a secondary condition of if you pitch 2 other cards, you can also search for a tool and a special energy. Yeah, Pokemon does let you do whatever you want for free. With an asterisk by that, right? I think a lot of the cards that let you draw cards are what's known as supporters. They have labels. They're typically people, right? People are supporters. So you saw earlier Nate play a card called Lance. It was a person. He just played Guzma and Hala. But, supporters, you can only play 1 per turn. So you have to think about, what am I going to play this turn that's going to get me there? The energies are in the deck just like lands. So you have to draw into your energies. You have to play cards to search your energies just like you would search for lands. And then, there's ramp. I mean, just like Magic, you think greens, right? You can search your deck for an energy and it comes into play and you can play it there, but it is just like 1 energy attachment. Energy attaches to Pokemon. It's not played in a field like Magic, but just like Magic, or just like Commander, one land drop per turn, 1 energy attachment per turn, unless specified from an ability or a card. Yeah, great question. Great question, but yeah, good to know. So Luxcape going on Garchomp, which adds 100 HP to it. So now Garchomp has 260 HP, and so Brandon will have to do a huge swing and a huge amount of damage to be able to knock that out. And the condition there being that to do that much damage, Nate does have to pitch the top 2 cards of his deck and send it to the discard pile, the graveyard that's there in that same capacity. Nate, did Garchomp go live just your last turn? So Sonic Slip's active? Okay, yeah. So Sonic Slip is active for Garchomp, which means it can't be damaged and no effects of attacks.
And then I'm going to Sunshine Shell for Thwacky.
rare candy into the Venusaur.
No. I don't have a fire.
So Brandon is going to attach onto Grotle, right? That's his land per turn. That land drops, so that one grass energy to go on to the Grotle. But if he finds a Pokemon, an ability, an opportunity there in some capacity, that allows him. He does time that allows him to attach another from deck, from hand. He can ramp in that capacity. One of the big differences here is energy is attached to Pokemon, and so when they get knocked out, the energies go to the discard pile. They go to the graveyard. And so they don't stay on the field like lands. You don't get that same amount per turn. It's onto a specific Pokemon. So 3 energy on one Pokemon and 2 on the other doesn't give a trainer or player 5 energy in play. It gives them on that specific Pokemon itself. So it's not usable by everybody. It has to be attached to something. So Brandon, knowing that he didn't have a way to move Garchomp out of the active or damage it, and even knock it out because of ability, put up Roserade and just said pass. Content knowing that he's probably going to lose a prize here, but he gives himself a chance next turn to be able to do that. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Knowing that all 3 of those are important utilities, that's gross.
Attach a basic. And Galvantula, this one's for 150. For the discarding.
So that escape rope card, both players had to switch, and all of Brandon's bitch Pokemon were utility Pokemon, and so he had to get rid of them.
Let's do Evo Incident.
Takes the attack on the Pokemon.
Mind Trap does 30 more damage.
Ultimate, you want to shoot me a DM on Instagram just so I can put a name to the face? You may have already done that. I've just not checked my phone, but I just want to be able to make sure to I know who I'm talking to. And most of the time I do, but sometimes it might not add up. But yeah, if you want to shoot me a DM over on Instagram, just say, hey, from the chat, would love to just be able to sit there and say, yeah, we're here, and then I can know to always do that. Also, hey, Trey, hope you're doing well. Okay. Dragon Blade taking another knockout, and Nate losing 2 recovery cards, one to lose recover a supporter, and then 1 to recover a Pokemon. Right. I mean, yes, I do. You can DM me, Trey. That's absolutely possible, but I'll make sure just I know who's there. Pitch beat. So.
Well, yeah. Well, I was going to make your spaceship, like, all caps.
Dragon Blade is chopping lettuce. We'll call it that way. I'll see what. Okay.
Me too.
Cool. You can't see me behind screen, but I'm taking videos. Be able to set up. I'll put something else up on Insta. Golly, let's see if he continues to make lettuce. Ugh.
Yes.
So Nate continuing to take knockouts, but also continuing to lose cards off of his deck. You saw during round one, it did get a little bit low. There. God. Two more. So the Bramble, which gets 50 HP for each, prize your opponent's taken. So base 100, Nate's taking 3 prizes. It pushed it up to 250. Voltage Beat putting energy up on it, about to have 5, and then you flip coins per the number of energy attached to it, and it does damage times that. So Brandon about to go for, I mean, you could call it a nuke here. You could really call it a nuke. You could really call it a nuke here. You know, I don't know if it's a relevant to Magic. I don't know what this is, but this is like casting Obliterator. Really not Wrath of God, but the nuke potential's there. You're driving parallel to Canada. Well, just get to Canada. Or don't, if you don't want to get there. You make the choice. You're an adult. Brandon having played Gladion, which lets him look at his prizes and exchange Gladion for a card there. Powerful Needles. And it usually eats heads.
2, 3.
4.
240. Yep. I'm still alive.
Wow. Yeah. That'd have been nuts if he'd have gotten the 4 and gotten the knockout.
I know, right? I rolled 5 last time. Serious treasure.
Heck yeah. Well, that would have given you an extra turn on that too. Because that plus, I mean, maybe seeing what, curious what Dargon does. You'd be surprised. Nate does sometimes have. Trey says you have plot armor. Nate's favorite move. He uses the streamer client. Once per turn, you win the game. Once per turn, you win the game. Sweet. What'd you get off Mysterious Treasure? Okay. I could look back, but I'm just trying to know. I do see Nate's deck getting rather thin here. And whatever will he do? I think I'll eat it now. Nate doing the 160 to Bramble Gas, but it does survive because it has that HP boost at 250. Nate loses an Arven and a Rainbow Energy, so continuing to mill his own deck, but obviously at the cost of getting damage and taking knockout. So watch how Brandon responds here. This Bramble Gas powered up, ready to go. Obviously, you know, if there's some damage mods in play, it may get knocked out, but I'm very, very curious.
Disable your Terra Spark.
We're going to Voltage Beat, taking 2 more energy cards. out of his deck and attaching to one of the Pokemon. Nate checking Brandon's prize cards, trying to understand what he maybe has left in deck, what maybe he is going to do. So 2 going on to Rillaboom. So Nate playing Professor's Research, pitching against hand and drawing 7. Ultimate, that's that thing we were talking about. Just pitch your hand and draw 7. I mean, yeah, there's some spells you can play in Magic that do that, but just fresh 7. That's a huge hand. I mean, that's a whole other opportunity to set up and get another combo going. Yeah, knockout, and then takes the knockout. Yeah. Awesome. Now Brandon back in the game. It's 4-3. That makes us very close. Nate obviously does have Druddigon online, which can revenge KO for the knockout, but what else does he have that he can do? Like, how does Brandon himself then respond to this next play? So if you heard over camera, Jeremy has said Jesus Christ to something. He is not in prayer. Did you fail the level ball? Yeah. Okay. I thought so, but I just wanted to confirm. Draglook into play, going to Recon Directive. Look at the top 2 cards of his deck. 1 into his hand, 1 on the bottom. If you see that hand size Nate has a really rather large hand size, and honestly, so does Brandon. Right? You see Brandon sitting at anywhere between 7 and 10 cards, having taken 2 prizes off of that. So he's got options in play. He's got things he can do. This game is still very much in play and is winnable for either player. That was such a massive opportunity. And does Brandon get Brambleghast back again? Does he keep it tanked? Does it keep it beefy? I'm really very interested to see that. All right, I'm going to step away while he plays. Take a video. Revenge is 160?
Yeah, it's 40 plus 120. Son of Rillaboom.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna play Vitalizer.
I know this guy. I'm not just like soccer.
Nate having an extensive amount of recovery cards here. Shuffling those back into his deck. Wow. So Super Rod, this is not last round. This is just round 3. So there's still one more after this. I think the 2 undefeated people are at the table in front of me, Jeremy and Bodie, and then Nate and Brandon. So the finals will be between the winner of those 2. So, we still got one more. I mean, Nate got rid of Dracloak as his draw engine. Netball search for deck for a basic. Make myself another note. Ask. Alright, so Nate had that Guzma in hand. Just a quick switch and knockout, and you're going to see Brandon concede there, knowing the board state that Nate had set up and what Brandon had. So, yeah, good game between both the players, but you will see Nate come out on top and move on to the finals. 2 questions we had in chat for you as you played. When he escape roped, why did you do the Grottle instead of the Rillaboom? Is it because you were setting up for Bram?
Yeah, I knew I was gonna, because I played Dragon in the last game, and Bramblin was my out, and I knew I didn't need the Grottle to get that going, but I wanted the Venusaur and the Rillaboom so that I could get a ton of energy on it and
Okay.
for big numbers.
Okay. And then why? Okay, that's what I thought, but I wanted to confirm. And then instead of voltage beating on to the Rillaboom to take the knockout on Druddigon, were you just banking that he wasn't going to have the knockout and keep Bramble gassed? Rillaboom does 140. Venusaur does 90. Yeah.
Yeah, I was banking, because I only had 2 energy left in the deck, and I don't think I had any way to get it.
You needed him on the Bramble gas.
The Bramble gas or the Rillaboom.
Okay. That's what I thought but I liked thinking in my head and confirming there with what you were able to do. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Tactical plays off previous matches.
So I'm still
learning all the outs of it. Yeah. I mean, well, to pilot it to where you did now, it's pretty good. You're probably gonna play the winner of that one. Y'all 2 done?
Yes.
If I take a quick video, can y'all just give me a thumbs up or a peace sign?
Miss a finger or 2.
Well, I'm trying to get that of every player tonight.
A finger?
Yeah. Honestly, if Ryan gives me a middle finger, cinema. Insert Kojima meme. Absolute cinema.
How many lands do you control?
I mean, Dark's getting outclassed by Dragon pretty hardcore these days, but it's still too fun to play to give it up, you know.
mean, there's so much new stuff that has with it too.
I keep hoping we'll get a couple of other things. Make it really good.
2 months, so makes it pretty fun. There are lots here building. I'll get into quality. I think it is. They don't have the AC today. Either that or it's just too much fun. Way too easy.
I mean, there's way too many people in here, man. It's a lot. I ain't got no Pokeballs. I can't catch no Pokemon. I opened all my gifts and I can't catch no Pokemon.
Plenty spinning. Got all the gems.
I am in dire straits here with Pokeballs. That's so cool.
He doesn't jump. You can jump block him. It's attack him quick. I'm sorry, we're so distracted. We got excited about art. I was told about cool art, and that's my cool one. What the hell? That's so pretty. That's so pretty, right? This thing, it will sack itself next turn and you get back. On my app. I didn't have any white mana until last turn. Because I didn't have it, I had to play this together. Because I need blue and white and black.
The boy.
You got a perfect Tatsugiri? You've been doing raids?
Just the one.
Heck yeah.
Jordan. Hell yeah, dude.
Nate, Bodie, y'all content? Okay. Through the top, this top cut, yeah. But I mean, I still always want to do. I still always want to offer, make sure that he doesn't want out of it. Can y'all scooch half an inch your mat? Sorry. I zoomed in before you were gone. Bodie's is centered, so however you go off that, you're good, Nate. Yeah, perfect. Sorry, had to. Yeah. All right, so Nate and Bodie going to go up into the finals here. Both players undefeated for the night. So the winner here will walk away with their first badge of this season. You've got Nate playing Dragon and Bodie playing Water. And we have seen both players on stream already tonight. So we've got some familiarity with the decks. We got some set up, so they're going to get set up here.
So he wins the first two GLCs. I might have had a chance if I didn't misplay. And the worst part is he's not even going to happen. What does that say about him? Should I shuffle and make my trigger with this?
Set the door down.
Okay.
It is now
Yeah, there's no time on last round.
Yeah, I had to understand
for live cover. So Nate going first, and he does have Tatsugiri in the active, but he will start with a level ball. So search his deck for a Pokemon with 90 HP or less and put it into his hand. This is where Nate does that prize checking off the rip, try to know what 6 prizes are there, what's he missing, what does he have to work with right now, what do he need to fish for as the game goes on. So searching his deck, looking back at his hand, taking stocks, gonna see does he have his utilities in play. Probably gonna get something that's gonna build off of the hand that he already has. Interesting to see what the play ends up being. This is a reminder that the tournaments we're playing in are hosted by the Classic City Pokemon League. So we have professors that organize and run this league, that find the dedicated dates, that keep the tournaments, that give their time to make this happen, for us to allow us to have an extensive pool of players to be able to play with weekly in multiple formats, right? When you think standard, when you think retro, some of the times that we play, when you think off meta, when you think gym leader challenge. So we have a good professors here, and we do this at Dragon Star Hobbies, a local card store here in our place, who have been very welcoming of us. So big shout out to the Classic City Pokemon League that this is a part of, and then Dragon Star Hobbies for allowing us to have this capability and this process here. So you saw Nate got Dratini. Off of that level ball, played it down, used Tatsugiri's. Use Tatsugiri to track customers' ability to get Raihan. I can't play it because it's his first term, and then we'll pass. Satotl down, attaching what looks like either Splash or Wash Energy, and then just a simple pass. I mean, does Nate go for a hand refresh? Does Nate swing for somehow a KO here? Dratini, Rare Candy evolve into that. That's crazy. But we're going to see here with the play and with the badge kind of coming up and on. Track customer is going to look at the top 6 again and reveal a supporter. See if Nate finds something here that's usable. He does find Arven, one of the most relevant cards in Gym Leader Challenge. And you see almost every deck single playing it, search his deck for an item card and a tool card and put them into his hand. A very all-important card that I think almost every deck runs, and almost a requirement. So a very influential and defining card that came out from Scarlet and Violet base set.
Nate getting Buddy Buddy Poffin searches, and then getting Buddy Buddy Poffin searches deck for 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less and put them onto his bench. He does do that after evolving Dratini into Dragonair, so you'll see him get that Axew and that Dreepy. The Whale Killer. Or any killer, really. Nate playing in TM Evolution, attaching Energy Return, and looking like he's obviously going to choose to evolve 2 Pokemon from his bench. He is declaring the Dreepy and the Axew, so Dreepy into Dracloak with that Recon Directive ability, and then Fracture coming on down into play, which prevents it from being bossed. Nate assessing his hand, considering his options. Tatsugiri attracting customers. Seeing if we can find another person, another supporter card. What does Nate find that's usable here? Finding Lance. Once again, search for 3 dragon Pokemon. Lance. Nate a staunch proponent of blinging out his deck, as he does always. He's thrown up the peace sign, which you did see on camera. Much better than the middle finger I got from some other folks earlier. But Nate is a staunch believer in that blinging out your deck makes it play better, which is crazy because it does the exact same thing that all the non-holo, non-rarity cards do. Nate, Recon Directive, getting the Haxorus. Looks like Nate's going to get the win here, going to get the energy card needed for the Haxorus, the Double Dragon, attach, retreat, and then take out the instant knockout on Titan. And Nate taking a donk. This is twice. This is twice in back-to-back tournaments that we do just see a donk.
Dog, what can I do with this hand? Yeah, it's the Whale Killer.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Sorry, I had a brain fart, but you're right. You're right.
Buddy, you were just my god.
That would have helped.
Now,
Yeah, I would have gotten 3 cards.
that was the top deck.
4? Oh no, 3. You're right.
3, because you got it in the knockout. Yeah, well, you see Nate ringing down the axe, taking a knockout. Wait, hold on. Okay, that was Splash. I thought it was Wash. I was like, are we about to restore game state? Wash prevents effects of attacks. So Wash would have nullified. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I thought
Either way, it doesn't matter.
Wash prevents effects of attacks. The effects of your Haxorus is...
I put Double Dragon on it.
You could have had the other attack. Okay. Okay, sorry. I thought you were going to say that bring down the axe would have done it. No.
It's 230.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I thought you were going to say bring down the axe. But, you had it out of the way. Doesn't matter. Never mind. Yeah. All right, well, in back-to-back tournaments, we see donks, so absolutely crazy. But preliminary congratulations to Nate, who will get his dragon badge, of course. What he didn't hear is off-screen. He did do himself a humble brag. He said coming in tonight, he said, I have no idea what I'm going to play. And then he chose to play Dragon and won. So that is our proverbial middle finger to Nate for wanting to do that. But congratulations to be able to want to get that badge. That makes this a shorter stream tonight for that capacity. And where we are. It was a pain in the ass to move over last time. I think this is good to just let it fade out and then the background noise. But yeah, thank y'all for hanging. We'll fade out to background noise for about 5 or 10 minutes while the rest of everyone else finishes up and then gets badges. And we'll return back next week for free play, so no organized tournament. We'll just have the stand set up, people playing, and we'll just continue to knock rounds, and I'll even play some of my own. But
thank y'all for hanging. We really appreciate it, and we will see y'all next time. I may change my mind and come back, but for now, we're just gonna move it to BRB, and then maybe moving it away from that.
That's crazy. So unfortunate.
I was thinking of switching to the whale lord and
it's all that's almost the superior Warlord, because for the same amount of energy, it's already doing more, and it has more HP.
Yeah, it has a cool illustration.
I think the one downside is like I think it's 4 and 7.
But if you get a situation where you're retreating, where you have to retreat the Warlord,
You go float zone on it. I mean.
because even reversal energy still works on either when you're still powering it up. Yeah, the other Warlord is I've seen is strictly better. Do you
Let's get the IR version? It's like $10.
It's down to $10 of the other Warlord. It was like 70. Okay, bye. Trey, we're still here kind of chatting about stuff, but it's you saw a donk, so we kind of moved it here, but I'll transition maybe to buy. I might come back and move the camera, but when I think of takedown and setup, yeah, I'm just easy to transition out and let the sweet, sweet sounds of a crowded Dragon Star Hobbies take you over.
I'll block the 8/8 with this to block, and then I'll take the 6.
Yep. At least we don't get the Evo this turn. That's what I had to avoid.
What are the rest of them doing?
Your math. My rabbit. Yeah. So that was fun, and all of that happened. And I was that was fun, and all of that happened. I haven't even used my phone on your Insta because I lost more than 4 life. I would have.
I lost the thing right there. But my soul ring was time we all decided to draw because Miguel was taking 10 minutes. Everybody's going to take 2.
I get to play a land team too.
Trust me, I've been there with this deck. It's like, risk 2 of my matches are just playing me. I was like,
I was told I was gonna get ordered, so it's fine. Which is fair. I deserve.
I wasn't swept, but I lost one first one, like 3 prizes left, and then the second.
It just feels much better than my last one. I made
Which wasn't bad. I was like, I need to come back and back with action.
I mean, no tokens the whole game. I don't know. She's very tempted.
Well, yeah, and also
I think this turn's used Beacon last turn.
Oh, a reacher, okay.
To get it. And then I bossed up.
I have a reacher and nothing to lose. I have a Marcy.
No, okay, yeah, I'll swing your call for 6. Oh, thank you. And then, in my second minute, I will sacrifice everybody take that.
We pulled the like really, I pulled the really pretty late.
And then I go.
On your Insta. So, untap lands. Draw turn. And the first thing I must do to deal with our very bad rabbit problem.
I'm gonna use Electrostep to attack 40 damage from your opponent's Pokemon.
2 black,
Switch this Pokemon with one of your bench
and
Pokemon.
then
40 to get rid of your remaining damage. Switch out to Tapu
Crux of Fate, destroying all non-dragon creatures. Is she still alive? She is not. So she's. I do get her cast trigger though. So everyone takes 2 damage and I gain 2 life.
Such a clutch card.
And she will go to the graveyard.
These are just exiled permanently. Even if I return this, it's a different name object.
You brought your cards to get stamped.
If you may cast cards exile with this creature.
Yeah, when it comes to
Sorry.
You're good.
tap that for blue, white, play Holy Bolton. He is lifelink whenever I cast a non-creature spell on your turn. Target creature with mana value. That spell's mana value from the graveyard to my hand.
I played him
Let's go. You got one.
Nobody wants it.
I mean, I haven't broken out my
Using Hollow, get you
I still need to cast it. It's still better than paying command points, yes. It'll just be a bit before she returns.
I look forward to
And I'm going to activate this spell. I'm going to sacrifice it for
Like, this is just like, yeah, man, there. Oh, yeah, I guess. Oh, shit.
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm
good, Joel.
Pass it without paying command. Okay, so I'm going to get this
Place Sword and Mountain to go back in.
So I'm going to pay 2.
How much?
It's probably weird.
What?
It's my kind of deck support.
No, I've discarded this episode. I'm sorry for killing the rabbits. Where do I put card of the game?
Waifus.
Switch to Luxray.
Why do you like this?
And Luxray.
Okay, first of all, I don't own this one. I learned public. I have like 3 of these. I
I'm not shying away from the fact. Yeah, I bought one.
No, I love the Erica one.
The Erica's so good.
Look at that dumb shit.
And this is the bigger Erica too. This is not even the.
I have an Erica in here.
Okay. Did you get to how much it was? You're telling me. I mean, it's crazy now. Technically, this is also a kid, so like, I guess you can buy the poppy. Oh, they have so many poppies.
Poppy's like a top, so that gets a little creepier.
What?
So, Poppy's top, that's even more creepy.
Yeah, well, there's a store in Texas that I saw on Twitter posting that they don't.
We will not buy or sell.
They don't buy or sell the full art poppies.
Which is fair.
Because they're like, they're not dealing with that with people. Can you just play a normal ass grass deck for once, please? Who the fuck plays grass control, mate? What sort of horse shit is this? Go sit in the corner.
So my time out corner?
Yeah.